Hey guys, just popping on. Thanks for joining me. I wrote kind of a long blog post. I like to talk, and I really would like to talk with people who like to listen. I wrote about basically what I've learned over my last 40 years. I have a birthday in May, and so to me, April, and spring and fall are always my reflection times. It's always my my creativity times too, figuring out what's meaningful and where I want life to lead, basically. And so I've been on this personal development, I think since I was 21, since I really started chiropractic school. I was, when you're involved with people who think a different way, you start to think a different way. And I don't know if I've ever read a book besides in my English class, but I really started digging into, what makes me tick, what makes me happy, what do I want to learn, and all these things. And so it continued to compile into being slightly polarized in certain situations. So I would come back from a situation and not like it. So let's just say where I'm in a social group and I'm somewhere with certain people doing something. And I started to feel not be as laid back, not as go with the flow. And so it made me start to pay attention to my values, and values really are everything that you're, every decision is based on your values. Everything that you do, everything that you say, and everything that you think is based on your values and what makes you tick. And so if you haven't created that for yourself, you're living in a value system that is likely your parents, your caretakers, your circle of influence. And so I came up with my top 5. The top 5 is in this blog post too, but the top 2 are connection and contribution. And now I realize when I'm in a situation that I don't like or I don't feel comfortable, and I don't mean comfort zone because I'm all about taking a risk and being outside of our comfort zone so we can grow, but I mean saying yes to things I should say no to, and saying no to things I should say yes to. Because if we don't have a roadmap, if you don't have a beacon, if you don't have a spark, if you don't have something to light the path for you, you're going to go all over and you're never going to go down that path, and you're never going to get to what you really were meant to do. And this is a deep way of saying not meant to do in your life, right? Because it's life's work, in my opinion. All this personal work is life's work, God's work, as to where am I supposed to go next, and how am I supposed to contribute to our community and our world, and how am I supposed to connect with people and with the masses. And everything I do is based on that. So I encourage you to go look at the worksheet that I've created. It's really all about what do you spend your money on, what do you spend your time on, who are you, who do you hang around, what do you save up for, what do you talk about. All of those things is really getting down to what are your values, and how can you start driving your life by that map instead of whatever. I mean, you're willy-nilly, and most people are willy-nilly. And when you start being aware of how you feel in certain situations and how you think in certain situations, then you start to change it. So in that blog post, I also talk about the next things that I'm working on, which I am really going to be digging into now, probably the next 6 to 12 months. One of the biggest things is how to be useful when I'm not working, and how to add more play into my life. And I think any strong women, we fall into this a little bit of, if I'm not busy, if I'm not doing something, am I useful? And can I contribute, and can I connect? Can I connect? Because those are my top 2 drivers for who I am and how I live. So I hope you enjoy. I would love for you to interact a little bit on that blog post. I don't know, post what was your aha, post your top 2, and I'll be available for any of that too. So thanks. I really, really appreciate you following me on my journey. And I really, one of my dreams is just to inspire you and to make make you think more about who you are and what you want, and then to start creating your life that way. So I love and appreciate you, and cheers to the first 40 and on to the next 40.